When the Indian Army held an induction ceremony for 6 brand new AH-64E Apache helicopters, they could never have imagined that across the border on the Punjab plains, Zhi-10ME armed helicopters painted in desert camouflage were quietly deploying for combat operations. This batch of helicopters, with the tail number 786-301 tactical numbers, had already completed live fire exercises over the glaciers of Kashmir. As Pakistani netizens exposed photos of the aircraft with its maintenance hatches wide open on social media, the skies over the South Asian subcontinent officially changed hands. The equipment dilemma of the Pakistani Army Aviation Corps dates back to 2014. While India spent $3 billion to procure 22 Apache helicopters, the Pakistani military's main force remained 36 AH-1F Cobra helicopters, all over 40 years old. These Vietnam War-era veterans lacked even basic night combat capabilities and struggled to operate in the Kashmir Glacier region. Pakistan first sought to purchase 24 AH-1Z helicopters from the United States, but after paying a $370 million down payment, the deal was politically blocked. In 2018, the U.S. Congress froze the delivery on the grounds of inadequate counter-terrorism efforts, and the seized helicopters remain stored in the Arizona desert to this day. Negotiations to switch to Russian Mi-35M helicopters were even more absurd. In 2019, Pakistan and Russia reached a preliminary agreement, but when India learned that Russian-made engines would be installed on Pakistani armed helicopters, it immediately exerted pressure through diplomatic channels. The Kremlin ultimately succumbed to New Delhi's large military procurement order and refused to issue export licenses for critical components. The Turkish T-129 was once seen as a lifeline, but this model, which uses the American-made Tech T-800 engine, was also blocked by the United States from exporting its power system after Pakistan paid the deposit. 3 failed military purchases have awakened the Pakistani military. Western arms sales are essentially political shackles, and only China can provide truly equal defense cooperation. The Zhi-10ME, which made its debut at the 2021 Zhuhai Air Show, was mocked by the West as a 5-ton toy due to its insufficient power. However, Chinese engineers achieved an epic evolution over a decade. By replacing the engine with the turboshaft 9G, power surged to 1,500 kilowatts, and when paired with a 5-blade composite main rotor, it could still take off with 16 anti-tank missiles at an altitude of 5,000 meters. A report submitted by Pakistani test pilots after field tests in the Karakoram Mountains revealed that the Zhi-10ME retains 270 kilowatts of power at 4,500 meters altitude, far exceeding the T-129's 180 kilowatts and even outperforming the Apache's 250 kilowatts. To adapt to Pakistan's battlefield environment, China implemented 23 targeted improvements. The engine intake duct was fitted with a desert dust filtration system, extending continuous operation time in sandstorms by 400%. The infrared suppression system was upgraded to cold smoke technology, reducing thermal signature to 1/5 that of the AH-1Z, and the cockpit armor uses boron carbide ceramic composite materials, capable of withstanding 23mm cannon shell fragments. What most impressed the Pakistani military was the weapon compatibility. In addition to the standard-issue Blue Arrow 21 anti-tank missiles, the Zhi-10ME short-wing variant has integrated the CM501X loitering munition system for the first time. This 70-kilometer range smart munition can hover over the battlefield for 90 minutes, receiving target information transmitted via data links from JF-17 fighter jets or Rainbow 4 drones, and conducting surgical strikes on Indian Army Apache helicopter bases. While Indian media touted the a PG-78 longbow radar carried by the Apache, they selectively ignored its fatal flaw. The Indian Army's 22 Apache helicopters are divided between the Air Force, 22 units, and the Army, 6 units, with their data links incompatible with each other. The Achilles heel of India's Apache helicopters is even more evident in logistics support. Each flight requires a maintenance team of 35 people, and all critical components must be airlifted from the United States. In 2023, the Indian Army's Apache helicopters had an operational rate of just 48%, while the Zhi-10ME, leveraging the spare parts center established along the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, can deliver spare parts across the entire region within 72 hours. What's more concerning for New Delhi is that the Camera Aviation Consortium has begun assembling Zhi-10ME airframe components, and by 2027, Pakistan will have the capability to assemble 12 units annually. The Apache, priced at $120 million per unit, pales in comparison to the Zhi-10ME, AH-64E, making it seem like an overpriced toy. China's defense industry has offered a staggering quote, a base price of $24 million per unit, with a full combat configuration costing no more than $35 million. This figure has shaken traditional U.S. equipment users like Egypt and Saudi Arabia to their core. The budget for one Apache could equip 3 Zhi-10ME helicopters plus a full set of ammunition. The economic advantage is amplified exponentially in system-level combat. The Indian Army spent $930 million on 284 Hellfire missiles for 6 Apache helicopters, while the Blue Arrow 21 missiles used by the Zhi-10ME cost only $270,000 per unit. More critically, China's custom-designed swarm tactic for the Pakistani military allows 4 Zhi-10ME helicopters to deploy 64 SW-6 suicide drones within 60 seconds to targets 100 kilometers away. These airborne landmines, priced at just $15,000 each, can autonomously identify and collide with Apache rotors, disabling a helicopter formation worth $720 million at a cost of less than $1 million. The overwhelming advantage of battlefield data links is creating a stark contrast on both sides of the line of control in Kashmir. While Indian Army Apache helicopters are equipped with advanced AH-64E radars, they have become information silos due to inter-service barriers. Radar data controlled by the Air Force cannot be transmitted in real time to Army helicopters, resulting in a broken chain from target identification to firepower engagement. The Zhi-10ME, equipped with the KG-600 integrated countermeasure system, can not only receive 360-degree air situation data from the ZDK-03 early warning aircraft, but also interact in real time with ground air defense systems via the domestically developed Tianqing data link. Breakthroughs in engine technology have enabled the Zhi-10ME to perform exceptionally well in high-altitude battlefields. The power deficiencies exposed during early model testing in Tibet have been completely resolved through the newly designed turboshaft 9G engine. This engine features a two-stage centrifugal compressor and floating wall combustion chamber technology, maintaining 98% power output at an altitude of 4,000 meters. More critically, its intelligent thermal management system uses 32 temperature sensors distributed throughout the engine compartment to automatically adjust cooling airflow distribution, tripling continuous combat time in high-altitude environments. The modular design of the weapon system grants the Zhi-10ME remarkable tactical flexibility. In addition to the standard-issue Blue Arrow 21 missiles, its short-wing pylons feature an innovative 4-in-1 design. The same mounting point can accommodate a 4-tube missile launcher, a 19-tube rocket pod, or a mixed load of loitering munitions and electronic warfare pods. During the Shahin exercise in the spring of 2024, the Pakistani military innovatively modified 2 Zhi-10ME helicopters into electronic assassins. One carried a KG-800 jamming pod to suppress Indian military radars, while the other was equipped with CM501X loitering munitions, utilizing electromagnetic cover to penetrate enemy defenses and destroy air defense positions. This flexible and adaptable tactical combination has increased the combat effectiveness of a single aircraft by 400%. The full life cycle support system is revolutionizing traditional military trade rules. The Joint Support Center established by China and Pakistan in Rawalpindi is equipped with a VR simulation training system worth $40 million. Pakistani pilots can complete comprehensive training, from high-altitude takeoffs and landings to missile evasion, through high-fidelity cockpits, reducing average actual flight training time from 200 hours to 80 hours per person. The profound impact of this cost revolution is fermenting in the global military trade market. The Egyptian military has done the math. Purchasing 12 Apache helicopters would cost $1.5 billion, while the same budget could buy 36 Zhi-10ME helicopters along with 1,200 missiles. What is even more alarming for traditional arms giants is China's introduction of the capability as a service innovation model. Customers can choose to pay by flight hour, with a comprehensive service package including equipment, training, and maintenance. As the rotors of the Zhi-10ME stir up dust in Kashmir, the world finally sees clearly. The true architects of war are not the exorbitantly priced toys piled with dollars, but the Eastern wisdom that suffocates enemies in data links and crushes them under cost superiority. This desert camouflaged treetop reaper has already etched a new era into the annals of global military trade history.